Okay, welcome to the VT1300 tutorial on Illustrator. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of the tools in your toolbar, the selection and direct selection tool. Again, over here on the left hand side of your screen, unless you moved it, is your toolbar. And you're going to want to get to know the shortcut keys for these two tools, which is V and A. So anytime you have Illustrator currently active with a document in front of you, if I click V or A, you'll see my selection on those is swapping back and forth as I hit V and A on the keyboard. Those keys will just grab select those tools. So with the selection tool, you can grab things and move them around. And also you can resize objects as well. So I have a bounding box across my object here that I have selected, and I can click and drag on one of those anchor points, one of those boxes around on my bounding box, and I'm able to move resize that object. Now, one thing that you're going to need to remember is if I want to constrain the proportions of that object, I click and hold Shift on the keyboard, and now I can click and drag on that object, and its proportions will constrain. So its width and height will stay the same compared to each other. And this is extremely helpful if you're resizing a photo and you don't want it to be skewed. There's many times you're going to want to use that Shift key. You do need to make sure you're holding that Shift key until you release the mouse. If I click and hold it and then I release Shift before I release the mouse, then it doesn't work. It'll not constrain. So that's the majority of the functions you're going to use the selection tool for. It's just moving things, selecting things, moving things, and resizing them. The direct selection tool allows you to select single or multiple anchor points. So I can select this anchor point and then click and drag it, and I can just move that. So now I just changed it from a parallelogram to something that's not. Now I have this anchor point that's doing its own thing, and I can turn this rectangle into a triangle if I wanted to. I can also click, and then holding down the Shift key, I can click more than one anchor point, and now I can move all three of those at the same time. You can click and grab the whole thing and move it around too, but typically you don't want to use the direct selection tool for that because you might accidentally grab an anchor point. But that is what you're going to use the selection and the direct selection tool for most of the time. And that does it for this tutorial.